Hello my beautiful people, welcome to the next weekly general taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. And before we start, as always, I would like to bless all of my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, before I get into the reading, there is something that I would like to address. I've had a few comments recently, and one of which, the others not so much, but one of which really did get to me. I just want to say that I'm very, very humbled and very, very lucky to be able to do what I love, to do what I believe is my purpose here in the world. I had somebody recently comment that my yawning basically means that because my subscribers count has gone up, I'm now getting cocky. And that really, really upset me because I remember building this channel from literally nothing, when I had literally 0 subscribers. And I remember the day that I posted, I've still got it as a memory, and I've still got it as a picture on my phone because I'm that proud of that moment. I remember when Reydiant Reality hit 30, just 30 subscribers, and I was so overjoyed and so over the moon. I remember posting it on Facebook to my friends, to my family, because I couldn't believe that that many people had resonated with what I'd done. Fast forward 3-4 years later, I am fortunate enough to have almost 50,000 subscribers, and each and every one of you people out there that watch my videos, that like my videos, that share, that comment, that subscribe, mean the world to me. It really is not taken for granted. I'm very, very humbled by this. So please don't ever think that I'm getting cocky or that I'm getting above my station, because this isn't about that for me. That's the first thing. The second thing that I want to address is the yawning. I'm really, I can only apologize. I am a human being. And one thing that I think a lot of people kind of miss about this, about the work that I do, forget the fact that it's a YouTube channel. Tarot, astrology, even numerology, these are all spiritual focuses and disciplines. To make these videos are not just time consuming with the time and energy that you spend outside of the video, but the energy that you spend while you're doing the reading, connecting to that energy. Very often I do 12 videos in one go. Right, and by the time I get to sort of the last 3 or 4, yes, I am feeling the physical toll, I'm feeling the mental toll, I'm feeling the spiritual toll. On top of that, when there are certain transits, Mercury retrograde, or things taking place in my chart, there are moments where, just like any other human being, I get tongue-tied, or I might get a bit flustered, or I might lose my train of thought. At the end of the day, all of you that have been with me, especially those of you that have been with me from, my hardcore ride or die, you guys know who you are. I've never professed to be anything but a human being. It is not lost on me that everything that I put out into the world is an expression of the energy that I carry, and it's really not lost on me that a lot of people use these for guidance in their lives. So please don't ever think that this is a game to me, or it's just for show, or it's just for numbers, or just for subscribers, because it really isn't. It's so much more than that for me. And if those of you that know me, those of you that have had readings with me, that have taken my courses, you guys know me. And that's good enough for me. So I just wanted to address those comments, because it's not that I'm bored and I'm getting above my station and I don't care about my channel anymore. It really isn't that. And anybody that kind of follows that train of thought, I invite you now to unsubscribe, because it means that you genuinely don't know who I am as a person and what I am about. With that said, I'd like to clear that energy and go into your weekly taroscope. So When I went into my intuition this week, the message that I got was actually, it was a ship, and the ship was on the waves, and it was going off to what I could perceive these people on the ship saw as a new horizon. This week you're being invited to explore. This week you are being invited to go above and beyond what it is that you know. You're being invited to think outside the box, to go further than your own front garden, further than your own job, further than the information that you currently have at hand, even your own belief systems, whatever they might be. You're being invited this week to explore yourself, explore the world, explore your thoughts, your dreams, your visions, your goals, explore other people if you are so inclined. But this is a week for you to really break out of whatever your own personal box is. This is a week for you to go above and beyond everything that is currently known in your experience of life. This is a chance for you to go above and beyond and explore different facets of yourself, to really get to know yourself and what it is that you ultimately want and where it is that you really feel drawn to go in your lifescape. So your destiny card for the week ahead is the Fool card. New things, new places, new people, new energy, exploring foreign terrain or territory. The Fool card is also moments of pure destiny, moments that we cannot necessarily foresee coming. And, you know, I've said this before, it's very much like the planet Uranus. It's sudden, unexpected. Very often it changes our path. You know, sometimes at the moment that it happens, it's disruptive, but in the long term, it is ultimately liberating and freedom generating. So whenever you see the Fool card, just know that this week across the board, in some way, shape or form, you will be exploring new territory. You will be understanding what it means to go above and beyond what you know. And ultimately there will be a moment, a conversation, a person that you rub shoulders with. Sometimes it can be an event that happens in front of you that you know, at the time you're just like, wow, okay, this is happening. And you go away and it completely changes your thought process or your outlook, or even just your own beliefs in some way, right? Because the Fool card is destiny. It is all cards and no cards all drawn into one. And the zero, when you think about it in terms of numerology and even Kabbalistically, the zero is what is beyond the known. It is that unknowable force that permeates all things. It is pure potential and pure power that is there for the shaping or the molding into whatever. You know, it goes through all the stages of creation in order to become something tangible and real. So whenever the Fool card shows up in your reading, in your life, I myself have a really interesting story about this. I'll keep it short. One time, in fact, this was when I was starting my professional tarot journey. I actually acted out the scene on the Rider-Waite card, and it wasn't until like maybe 6 weeks later that I was like, oh my gosh, like boom, you know, it was a real moment. So sometimes it is unexpected, sometimes it is a moment of, just pure chance or what appears to be chance. And then when it shows up, it kind of changes everything for you or sets you on a completely different path, or maybe on, even in a different motion some way. So let's give it some context and see what this may pertain to or is likely to shape up as or look like. Remember, it is the Fool card, so you can't ever really pin it down. It's like Uranus in astrology. You know, all astrologers, in my opinion, good astrologers will say to you, you can't ever really predict it. You can just kind of get close. So your direction card for this is the Magician card. Wow. Right, I'm actually starting to sweat now. So look at this, you've got the Fool card, the beginning of all things, that pure potential. And now here in the direction you have the Magician card, which is the very next card in sequence. When you get cards in sequence like this, it means that the energy has a straight line to follow. And it's said that, God doesn't build in straight lines, so to speak, but when you think about the message of explore, right? Going beyond the known, seeking what is outside of what you currently know in order to master some aspect of yourself, some aspect of your life, in order to go above and beyond what is known to you and to bring down the power of heaven into the material plane. I mean, this is cray, right? This is exactly what I was talking about. You know, the magician is very much about as above, so below, right? So he's bringing down that cosmic, universal, pure potential energy, and he's directing it and focusing it into the ground, into all of the things that he wants. And with the Mobius veil above his head, this isn't just about the energy of karma. It's about the understanding that you are an eternal being, and all you need to do is look outside yourself at the natural world or the cosmic world or the, you know, even the stars, if you like, right? And focus that energy through yourself at the goals, the missions, the lessons even, or the challenges that you are facing at any given time, and the answers will come through you. Right. And this is the thing. I had a conversation recently with a friend, and we were discussing this, how very often you know what you need to do. If you're facing a challenge or something goes wrong or you're having some kind of issue, very often you know. It's usually that very first lightning quick instinct that kicks in for you. But because we're human, we overanalyze it and we say, oh, well, no, that's too simple an answer, or no, I can't do that, or, you know, we'll convince ourselves out of it for any given reason. The fact that we've got this magician card as a direction is asking you to be bold. It's asking you to be brave. This is about communicating all of the wishes, goals, hopes and dreams that you have and projecting them out into the world. This is, you know, yes, we've got a Mercury retrograde, but you don't stop living because of it. You find ways to work through that energy, or around that energy, or past it. The fact that we've got this magician card as well really talks about your own personal power. This is saying that no matter what your destiny is, no matter what fated events or destined events come into your life, you always have the power to choose. You always have the power to co-create your destiny. How you get to certain events is completely up to you. After you leave certain events, whatever it is, that's where your free will kicks back in. And sometimes this is one of the things that the true master, the true magician, the true innate worker of the mysteries or walker of the path understands. There are some things you will never understand. There are some moments that you may not see coming. There are some things that you cannot choose above or beyond. You just have to go through. The true master understands that and is able to transcend the lesson and assimilate the blessing that that lesson might have entailed in order to move forward. So this is a fancy way of me saying they're not fazed by anything because they understand that it's all a part of the path. There are things that we may never be able to control, and there are things that we might never be able to circumvent. Does that mean that we stop and we give up and we decide not to try? No, absolutely not. It means that we decide to continue. Continuity, the Mobius veil, right? We tie ourselves into that infinite reach, that infinite vastness, that above and beyond cosmic force that is continually moving, that continual stream of all things. You tie yourself into it and understand that while the blessings may come, this too will pass. While the challenges may arise, this too will pass. And on the spiral dance goes. So for our insight card for the week ahead, I'm loving this. I've got 2 Rider-Waite-Smith decks to work with now. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. Are you determined? Are you ready to explore? Are you ready to welcome in fated events into your life? Are you prepared to be present and focused while you experience your blessings? Are you ready to be prepared and focused while you experience your challenges? Are you determined? Have you really set yourself? Have you really set your sights on what it is that you truly want? And if you have, how is it that you can go beyond your personal limitations to communicate your desires and your wishes to the universe and ultimately use your own action, determination, energy and drive to fulfill those goals, to fulfill those dreams? everything. If you get my if you get my daily email, you would have heard me say this morning. Everything you see out in the world, everything from the iPad that I'm using to record, to the card that I'm holding, the top that I'm wearing, my water bottle, all of it, everything that you see once started as a thought, as an imaginal thing, as a thing that floated around in that sort of liminal, creative, pure potential energy. It then passed into somebody's mind who then communicated that energy and decided to fashion and focus their energy onto creating that thing and making it tangible and making it real. Once it crosses the threshold, you get these tangible things, right? This is kind of the whole process of manifestation here. This is a really huge week. It's a very powerful week, especially if you're willing to go within to do the work and ultimately to say to yourself, right, what are the steps that I need to set now on my path? What are the steps that I need to focus on in order to bring these things into being? The Knight of Pentacles is about the movement. It's about the travel, and sometimes it's about the journey or the path that you take. So really, I mean, we couldn't get any more bigger, more sort of powerful cards. And thing about the Knight of Pentacles has a very Capricornian energy about it. So the interesting thing is here for me, I feel like on the wider world stage, we're very likely to see something, some sort of breakout that's happening on the wider world stage. And when I say a breakout, this could be something new that's being introduced. Maybe it's a new law. Maybe it's a new, what's the word? Maybe it's a new structure. Maybe it is maybe it's a new way of things being. Maybe it's a new tradition that's being started of some kind, you know. So it's going to be a really interesting week. With that said, let me know in the comments how it shapes up for you. Take care, and I'll see you soon.